All right, everybody. Gabe Jenkins back with you here for the walkthrough of number 20. Make this a little bit smaller. So here's what we're looking at here. This was the reference drawing. Here's what I got in AutoCAD. If you want to just see really quickly what I got here in terms of construction layers, this is what I had for my different elements that I talked about. Right? I remember we talked about there was this circle that all of these this really small circles, they're all based, their center point is on that blue circle right there. Told you you're going to have to trace out a little bit of a 90-degree arc, 45 to the right, 45 to the left, so that we can draw this shape right here. I had some offset lines from my vertical so that I could figure out exactly where 2 units over and 2 units over that way were. And from my bottom line down here, I offset it 5 so that I could find, or offset it down 5 so I could find where the bottom of the shape was, and then offset it 3.8 up to the top too. I could see where the top of it was. But so that's what we're going for here, and that's the shape we're going to draw together here. So I'm going to start a new diagram, and I'm going to go to new. I'm going to use my inches template because that's the one that makes the most sense here. And I said I'm going to start with my origin. Actually, you know what? Let me start off with making some construction lines, because that'll just simplify our lives a little bit here. So I'm going to go to my construction layer. All right, and I'm going to start by, I'm going to move this up a little bit. All right, I'm going to start with just a vertical and a horizontal construction line. Remember, this line here is just that is our kind of like infinitely long construction line. I'm going to make one horizontal, one vertical. Cool. I'm going to go down 5 so I know the bottom of my shape. So I'm going to offset with a distance of 5 to find the bottom of the shape. And I'm going to offset up. If the whole thing is 8.8 and it's 5 down, that means it must be 3.8 up. So 3.8, I'm gonna take make that 3.8 up. Lastly, I'm gonna make a circle, and I wanna, what do I want? I'm gonna want a diameter circle. All right, I'm gonna make on the construction layer, I want this one right here, and it says that has a diameter of 3.4. So diameter 3.4. That's going to be where all of these small circles are located. All right, so I think, oh no, I got to do my 2 more lines. I'm going to do a line here, started here, started at the origin, and do I care how far down it goes? I do, but for now I don't really care. And this one should be going down at a 45-degree angle like that. And let's just mirror this one over to the other side, because that I know will be right. Mirror this thing. First mirror point we'll say is there. Second one is there. And we are good to go. All right, I think those are all of the construction lines I need for now. All right, let's go. I'm going to go over to my visible layer and start building my circles in the middle here. The small circle has got a diameter of 2. Next one's got a diameter of 2.8. So start there. First one's got a diameter of 2. Next one's got a diameter of 2.8. 2.8. Next one farther out has a diameter of 4. Okay. And then this one farther out, it's a half a circle here, right? It's going to have a radius of 2.8, so diameter of 5.6, radius 2.8, like that. All right, so now I got most of my big circles drawn. You can see it's very close. This arc right here has a radius of 2.7, which is very close to a radius of 2.8, but those are going to be 2 different lines. So don't just get confused and assume that this line right here continues down. It's a different line, okay? All right. So let's do this. Why don't we do the next thing? We are going to, why don't we make this arc, series of arcs things first, okay? So we know that there's an inside arc with a radius of 2.7 and an outside arc with a radius of 3.3, okay? So let's do an arc. We know, at this point, we know the mid, so we know the center, and we know the start and the end, and we know the radius. Let's do start, end, and radius, because we know that it is going to be, actually, do I know the start point? Yes. Actually, no. I know the center. I know the radius. You know what I should do? All right. I'm going to draw one more construction line because I need to figure out where on this 45-degree angle 2.7 is. So what I really should have done was really, you know what? I'm going to erase this. I'm going to make them a specified, I'm going to make them specified distances. All right. So I'm going to go back to my construction layer. I'm not sure this is how I did it the first time I did it, but whatevs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that the center point of this circle is right between 2.7 and 3.3, so that my center point is 3 inches out from my center point there. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say make a construction line, the distance of 3 and an angle of 45. Okay, that is going to be where that is, and I'm going to mirror this one because that's going to be the center point of my circle. Mirror this one, and cool. Okay. So now I know that that's the center point of the circle I'm about to draw. Go back to my visible layer. And I'm going to make a circle here. The circle is going to have a, it's got to go from 2.7 out to 3.3. So my circle is going to have a diameter of 0.6 or a radius of 0.3. Okay, so right there, I'm going to zoom and make sure I'm locating the right spot. I'm going to say 0.3 diameter. Cool. And mirror that to the other side. Okay, didn't do it. Okay, so that looks good. All right, so now I know that this point right here, right there, if I make an arc that swings around over to this point, I am going to be good. So at this point, I know, let's see, I know my start, I know my end, and I know my center point. Start, center, end. So from here to here. Messed up. Got to go start, center, end. Start. Center point. And great. Going to make another one. You know what? I'm going to have to extend my little line right here. Extend this line out to the end so I know where to connect it. Extend that one. Okay. Go back to my arc. Go from here. Center point. And great. All right. Now I can start to trim away some of the stuff that I don't need anymore. So I'm going to get rid of that. So, cool. So I got all of that done. And let's see, I'm going to need to drop some lines down at some point, but I'm not ready to do that yet. So I'm going to leave this part here. All right. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to start to make all of these little circles right here, and then I'm going to use my polar array to rotate or to make copies of them around this blue circle right here. So if I look at any one of these circles, it says the outer one has a diameter of 0.4 and the inner one has a diameter of 0.3. So I know my diameter, and I'm just gonna make this one right up here. I'm gonna say 0.4. Use another one, make it 0.3. Okay, zoom in real tight. I'm gonna want to. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna just delete the. I'm gonna trim just this little piece here and this little piece here, because what I want to do is I want to hatch on the inside, and I want it to do it all as one pattern. Okay, so I'm gonna hatch inside here. Oh, that was my bad. I forgot to do these parts as well. Okay. Hatch. Okay, I'm gonna. That's probably. That's enough, but I want to edit my hatch pattern so that it's a little more solid. So I'm going to go down here to hatch edit, and I'm not going to make it predefined. I'm going to make it user defined. I'm going to have it go, let's just say 45-degree angle and really small. Let's just say 0.1. What did it do for me? Nothing. What did I do wrong? User defined. I want an angle of 45 and spacing of 0.1. Preview. Oh, maybe it's just so small. Maybe it's just so small that I have to make it like 0.001. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. Um, okay. All right. So I got this, and now I'm going. It's a little. I wish it were different. All right. It's not a big deal. Let's see. I want to now make a polar array which takes all of these elements and rotates them about the central origin point right there. So I'm going to just make sure I've clicked on everything here. Click on the outer circle, the inner circle, that hatch. I don't know if I got all the hatching. Click on that. Click on that. Outer circle, inner circle. Okay. And I'm going to do a polar array. My central point is not that one. Almost messed that one up. That's my central point. Go up here and I count my things. I had 8 of them, so I'm going to make it 8. I want them to go 360 degrees. I want them to go all the way around. And that looks good. The direction doesn't matter because they're all going all 360 degrees. I'm going to close my array. And now that part is basically done. All right. So now it's up to us to, I'm going to build kind of the outer box around here first, and then I'm going to build the inner box after that. So we know that this line right here is 5 units down from my central kind of center of the circle part. So I know it goes 3.8 out and it goes 5 up. So I can start to build some of those lines. So I'm going to go, starting right here, I'm going to go 3.8 over. I'm going to go 5 up. Okay, mirror those 2 lines. Okay, now, so that's this line and that line all the way over to here. So now I'm going to do my top line here. I know it goes 2 units over and 2 units over this way. So I'm going to go back to my construction layer, and I'm going to offset 2 to the left and 2 to the right. 2 that way, 2 that way. Okay, and I know that the top line here is 3.8 up from my horizontal kind of center line. So I'm going to do one more thing here. What I'm really trying to do is, it is 3.8, all right. There we go. wasn't on the screen. What I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to find that corner, right? That corner right there, because that's gonna be the corner that I'm going to join up with the bottom line right here. So I'm going to go back to my visible layer, and I'm going to just start joining them up. Line goes from here to there, back down to here. Cool. All right. So I got the basic outline done now. All right. I want to let's before I do any filleting, I'm just going to make these lines right here, and I can see when I look carefully at the dimensions that this whole thing, this line right here, is one up from the bottom. So I'm going to do a couple more offsets. I'm going to offset as being 1. I'm going to offset this over. I'm going to offset this up, this line up, this line over. Okay? And you can see when we zoom in, it kind of like starts to join up. Let me trim away the parts I don't need anymore. Don't need that. All right. So we're starting to get there. I guess at this point I could trim away this little part here and this little part here because I don't think I need them for anything anymore. I hope I don't. All right. So now we're getting close. Let me zoom out a tiny bit. I'm going to turn off my construction layer so it's easier to see what I got here. All right. Let's do the fillets around the corners here. So they all say they have a fillet of 0.5. So do R.5, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of them. So I'm going to click on multiple. That one's kind of hard to see, but it is there. Fifth one, and my final one is the sixth one, and that's good. All right. So we got all that done. Let's go ahead and make this little hexagon down here on the bottom, and then we can mirror it over to the other side. All right. I know that the center point of this guy is 0.5 over from the edge, and I know it's 0.5 up from the bottom edge. So, let's see, maybe I needed to do this. Maybe I still need to see that side. Okay. Let's see. I might need to make some more construction lines. I might have messed up. Do I need to make them? Well, I should. All right. What makes the most sense here, Gabe? All right. Let's just see if it puts me exactly where I want to be. I want to go 0.5 over and 0.5 up. So I'm just going to do this really quickly. I'm going to make a 0.5 offset up. And I need to figure out a line that is 0.5 over from this side here. Exactly 0.5. Okay. So now that's going to be, I'm going to have to erase that eventually, but that's going to be my center point of my polygon. So I got a polygon. How many sides does it have? This is a hexagon, so it's got 6 sides. And that's the center point right there. Is it going to be inscribed or circumscribed? We talked about how it has to be circumscribed because we're going from one side of the polygon shape to the other. It's got a radius of 0.5. It's got a diameter basically of 0.5. So it's got a radius of 0.25, and there we go right there. I'm going to get rid of this line because that is in the way. All right, I'm going to take this polygon. I'm going to mirror it across to the other side. Mirror it from here over there. Cool. Now I need to make one. You know what? I'm going to extend this line one more time. So that's going to be where the center point of this one's going to be. I'm going to make another polygon. And the center point, so 6 sides. Center point is here at the intersection of those things. It's going to be circumscribed, and it's going to be 0.25 radius, it goes right there. Let's see. My next one is going to be coming, is going to be straight above here, up to here. So I'm going to make another construction line. Again, this is not the way I did it before, and there might be a better way to do this. We don't really know. All right. I thought I mirrored that. Maybe I didn't. Mirror that. All right, so now that's there. I'm going to need to put one more up here, and it's going to be 0.5 down from that center point to here. 0.5, that's going to be my center point of my polygon. It's got 6 sides. It's anchored right at here at that's done. The only other ones I have to do are the one that's here and the one that's right here. And we are going to center it on the center point of that filleted radius right there. So I'm going to make one more, and number of sides is 6. The center point is going to be right there. It's going to be circumscribed. It's going to have a radius of 0.25. It goes right there. I'm going to mirror it to the other side, and then I think we're going to be done. I'm going to take a look at it at the end just to make sure that it looks good. And there we go. I'm going to turn off my construction layer so I can just see what it looks like without all the distractions. Look at it, look at it, look at it. A couple of things to check as you're doing it. You know, I didn't specify that angle, but that's one of the things you can check, right? So say you just wanted to just really quickly just check, is that right? If it's wrong, then you've done something wrong. I've done it 115. All right, so that's right. Once I go ahead and dimension everything, I would be able to figure out if I had made a mistake at all. And that looks good. I could put my center points on my hexagons. Make sure you're telling me where your hexagons are in terms of dimensions. Like the center points of the dimension of the hexagons should be given, so I should be able to find dimensions that show me how far up or how far down from a side or a corner the center points of all the hexagons are. And that's about it. All right, it's a lot. It's a lot of elements, and you have to build it step by step by step using construction lines here and there to locate certain elements or decide how big certain elements need to be. It's a multi-step problem here, but it's ultimately very satisfying. All right, have a great day, everybody.